meet this person on I think it was OKC, and so we chat on OKC.
Oklahoma City.
Close. What? She doesn't come and watch us anymore, does she?
Yeah, what happened to Oklahoma City, yo? She said, "See you guys, you suck.
Yeah,
I'm out. You guys talk about weird shit. I'm leaving."
I know. I don't know why she hasn't watched in a while.
We don't promulgate the same way we
She
did.
needs to be reminded about how epic this is.
Met this girl on OKC. I started chatting with her whenever I got to the airport on my way to Miami, on my way to this cruise, right? So this is about a week and a half ago. And so we chatted from the online thing first for a few moments, and then I said, well, I need to know you're real, so give me your phone number. So she sends me her phone number, we exchange phone numbers, start text messaging. No sooner I was at security whenever I got this girl on the online dating site. Before I boarded the airplane, so in the matter of 2 hours-ish, she had sent me naked pictures of herself.
Oh, my God.
Right? I also found out that she ran Herman Cain's campaign. She was one of the campaign managers for Herman Cain, right?
Okay.
I feel like this is unlikely, though. Okay.
With later results, it seemed to prove more and more likely.
No!
999.
Yeah, exactly. She starts telling me about the inside stuff about how Herman did the 999, and she jumped on when it was all fair taxi, and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, okay, well, and all of it seems plausible by the way she's saying it. And now she works for the radio station. Working for him, he's doing a local radio show here in Atlanta.
Oh, Jesus.
So all of this is going on, whatever. And then yesterday, well, let me take this back. Friday, whenever I was out on date night with Adam and Carissa, she sends me a text message and says, I need attention.
Bro.
You need attention? We've never met, okay? So this whole concept of I owe you some sort of attention doesn't really jive very well, right? I don't get it, right?
Wow.
So... So she says, "Can you step away from your friends for a moment? We have to talk."
What? I'm on date night, yo.
Being a
Run
nice
away.
guy, being a nice guy, I walked outside, talked to her. I was like, "Okay, what's up? I'll give you a minute. I'll get a minute. You take a minute. We both gonna learn from one another." Frank, do you know that one? That's what Herman Cain says in one of his bits.
I don't listen to him anymore.
One of his bits is rapid fire, where we both have, and she didn't laugh at all. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe this girl's not really there. But so we're doing the thing, right? We're chatting on the phone, blah blah blah. Okay, well, I've got to go back to my thing. All right, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, fine. I'll give you a call tomorrow. Everything goes on. 6 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. Or 6 o'clock in the evening, I guess, early evening. I had been doing a 7-year-old's birthday party. I'd been doing a bunch of other stuff that I was dealing with in the morning, and it just wasn't any place that I'd have a convenient time.
Wait, you were doing a 7-year-old's birthday party? Are you...
Another story? When I'm done with this one?
Are you sidelining as a clown?
So
Don't distract him.
So I get a call from her at 6 o'clock, or a text message. I need attention now, damn it! And I'm like, okay. So I call her up and I said, okay, well, what's going on? Well, this is just not going to work if you're not going to be able to do blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I haven't ever spoken to you in real life. I've never seen you. I'm not going to put in full bore into somebody I've never met. Well, I'm not going to meet you until I feel comfortable with you. And I'm like, what do you mean you feel comfortable with me? And then, so we go on and on like this for a little while, and then I say something, because I always say something that could be construed as me saying that she's fat or ugly or something. And I'm like, I don't know what you look like in person, so all of what I've got is some sort of pictures that you've sent to me, but I don't know that that's really you. And she's like, are you trying to say that I'm a fatty? And I'm like, look, I'm done. I'm done. And I hung up on her, right? And I said, you have a nice day, and hung up on her. Whenever I hung up on her, 5 immediate recalls, phone calls right back, right?
No.
And then 3 text messages saying, answer the fucking phone!
Holy
What
mackerel.
the fuck is going on with you?
No.
Yeah. Let me read them word for word. Hold on a second.
Oh my god. You don't have a pet rat or pet rabbit, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
You better
Are
start
you-
locking that door, dude.
The first one. This was after three phone calls. Are you fucking kidding me right now? 2 more phone calls, and 1 minute has transpired, and another one that says, "Answer the fucking phone!" Right? Then this morning, or yesterday at 11:26 p.m., that same day at 11:30, she says, "I'm done." Next message, "Peace the fuck out." So, I think I may have somebody who looks me up on the interwebs and shows up at my door, and
Well, maybe she can be a podcast viewer today.
maybe she could be a podcast viewer.
Hi. Don't kill us.
Yeah.
The guy with the book.
Don't turn Jeff into a suit. A man
This
suit.
guy's the guy you're mad at. Don't be mad at her or him
Oh, that
or
guy.
him.
That guy right there.
Oh,
You're mad at
God.
him. You see him?
No, that's insane. I'm sorry. Like as a human being, that's insane. You should not be that. Just get to know somebody.
Right. Let it be easy.
Yeah.
Let it be easy.
How hard
And if it's
is
not
that?
easy, then you're doing it wrong. Right?
Yeah.
This is not golf, people. It
I
should
had
be
somebody
easy.
send me a question. How do you think it would end? I said, "What the fuck are you talking about? How do you think what would end?" I said, "If you're asking me how do I think
The
the
world?
world would end." Yeah, that's what it was. I said, if you're asking me how you think the world would end, then this is a silly conversation to have because neither one of us is ever going to actually know the answer. So it's just going to go around and around in circles.
And the day we know the answer is a really shitty day.
So why bring this up, man? Delete. Yeah.
Was this one of your online people that wanted to do that for you?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were
Okay.
trying to gauge if you were going to say, well, I wouldn't know because the rapture will take me. And then that person would be like, oh, okay, delete.
Right. In my OK Cupid profile, it says like atheism or agnosticism and then you go through like this set of questions that you can compare each other. It's complicated shit these days. I didn't realize. So like they can see. Some people answer questions that are really private that
Yeah.
I find really surprising.
Kate and I always joke that whenever they have one of those free Match.com weekends, we both would sign up just if they'd actually match us.
Right?
That's awesome.
Or if Match.com would say, stay away from her, she's crazy, or yeah, that guy's a loser.
Yeah.
That's good fun. You should definitely do that. Report back the findings.
Definitely.
Yeah, for a really bored weekend when we don't have much to do, we'll make our Match.com profiles to see if we get
What?
connected.
Frank, what?
Oh my god, I got a screenshot of this.
Oh yeah, I think I without even reading it, I know what it says.
What?
Manhunt underway. Authorities searching in Cambridge and Watertown.
It's whoever's typing quickly to do the what's the correct term for it for the hearing disabled. It's
Yeah.
Closed captioning.
thank you. Have you ever watched the? Have you ever turned on Google's automatic closed
Translator?
captioning?
Yeah.
It's so Google, I love you, man, but that thing, get rid of it until it actually fucking is even close to
No,
working.
don't get rid of it. It's so amazing
Oh
when it
my
has like this
God.
awesome, like it's
It's like,
totally off base.
Where are you pulling this? It's like, yes, those are words. It's the same language, but oh my god,
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was watching, but I accidentally had it turned on, and I was just like, and I didn't realize, and I was like, is this the video? Are they just fucking with me? What's going on? Oh wait, no, this is Google's doing. Nice. Is it the first? No. Oh man. Right? We should. I'm definitely gonna next time watch one of our videos with the closed captioning on.
Oh, so YouTube allows for closed captioning where it just
Yeah.
automatically comes up with something?
And it starts to it's in advance
Wow.
hearing the words and trying to translate it. It's just completely fakakta. It's like so it just ends up like, you know, baby buggy bumper smack pants balls on the desk. You know, it's like, what?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, by the way, we've been broadcasting for a while.
Okay.
There one viewer.
Heads up. No viewers.
Well, we need to go public.
Oh, we are public, sir. Put on your lower third, Frank.
Oh. was gonna try something a little different for the introductions this week.
Oh, yeah?
It's gonna be a little hangout.
And I got an idea for signing out.
I do that all the time, dude.
Right. But when we're closing the show, kind of you don't have to think like me, the next person. You don't have to think like me, the next person. You don't have to think like me, and then everybody chimes in together. But you do have to think. Just a thought.
I like it. I saw that you had posted that, and I was like, I kind of dig that.
What was that, Michelle?
You posted that?
I did. Where did I post that? I think
You
it was
put it on the Twitter.
I put it on the Twitter, yes. And I
Yeah.
mentioned you, Lynch, on the go.
Yeah. It's the only thing I was like trying to decide if you, and then I backed off. I was like, no, I think it's actually better the way you did it. The only alternate I was thinking is you don't have to like the way that I think. You only have to like that I think.
Okay.
But I then went back and said, no, I actually think I prefer your arrangement.
I like that you're thinking about this. And I like, and I'm hoping to bring to the table some other ideas for DC as well. I have my defense on Tuesday, so after that, it's done. So yeah, I'll be more into figuring out and like exploring what we can do with making it a cohesive show.
Yes.
The show of shows.
That's
The
right.
Show of shows.
Was that Sid Caesar?
Don't know.
I don't know.
The show of shows? I don't know.
Ooh, does that picture look horrible? Or is it just me that sees it as horrible?
Yeah, you can't read it at all.
What's the picture?
What
I
kind of?
must have it as a wrong format.
Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca. Your show of shows.
Oh, that's why.
What picture is looking bad? I don't see the picture.
Oh, I took it off already, Tom. Sorry.
Okay. No, that's all right. If it looked bad,
If it looks bad, get off.
I will trust everyone's. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna get a little more caffeine, and then.
Yeah, can I do some caffeine break?
Cool beans.
All right, I'll be back in a second.
This gate is on fire.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll keep the show going here. Do we even have anybody that I have no way of knowing? In future, I think though, I think I might go back to not being on the show. Look at that. Fascinating. Okay, we're all gonna take a break. Dun, 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 dun.
on? Wildness.
Yes, I can. Do you want me to open it now? Yes. Oh, you got it? Oh, I got you. Sorry, I was listening to Dennis Lehane on the NPR.
Yeah, you know what sucks about NPR? What's his name is leaving? Not all things considered.
Prairie Home Companion?
No, the guy that does the When Midday, and I can't think of it. He's leaving.
When They're Dead?
No, he's Midday NPR. He talks about politics and stuff.
Ira Glass?
Oh, Talk of the Nation. The guy that does Talk of the Nation.
I don't know if I listen to that show. What I've been loving, and this is just, I know it's been around, but I hadn't really, and we use it at home, but it was on the road that it was like, oh yeah, it opens up a whole new thing. Is we were in New Mexico, and we were a little bit hard-pressed for something in the morning to listen to, and Kate was like, well, do you want me to turn on NPR? I'm like, oh, sure, what do you think the local one is? She's like, no, let's just put on WNYC. Oh, yeah, duh. We listen to it online at home. Why not listen to it online in Mexico? So we cranked it on and listened to our shows as we were, getting things set up.
I should certainly listen to WNYC for NPR, because our NPR station
I remember you saying that.
blows
Yeah,
goats.
yeah,
so it has 10% of the shows you really want to listen to,
right.
and then the rest of them, 50% are take or leave, and then the rest of it's garbage because they're playing classical music or something. If I'm going to pay for an NPR station, I want to pay for NPR.
WNYC is, I think on the AM at certain times they play music, but it's almost entirely just programming.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, they said NPR is to drop Talk of the Nation after 21 years.
Gross.
So here's another concept. Tell me, guys, if you like this concept or not.
Yeah.
So often we run into an article, Tom and I certainly, and Frank sometimes, in The Economist. An article in The Economist that we think is an appropriate topic to discuss.
Yes.
So maybe once a week we kind of say, in The Economist this week, and have
Yeah.
each one of us say something about an article in The Economist?
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with you on that. I think we all read The Economist.
I think so.
Sometimes it feels like homework that I'm late on. Like
I'm so late on my Economist right now. Oh God.
I think there was an Onion article that said economists to stop publishing for a month to allow its readers to catch up.
Right.
And then it said ESPN the magazine has vowed to do the same thing to allow its readers time to learn how to read.
So my other thing, why I was at a 7-year-old's birthday party.
Yeah.
So, my brother-in-law has a sister who lives here in town, and she has a 7-year-old daughter that I've run into, you know,
Out of the
large
club.
family gatherings and whatnot. And she kind of thinks of me as an uncle. So I
Oh.
don't know what my actual relation to her is, but she
Yeah.
thinks of me as an uncle, so there you go. Whatever. And she thinks I hung the moon. She thinks that I'm the neatest thing since sliced bread, right? So who am I to destroy a little girl's hopes and dreams? She asked me to be the... I know, that one needs to get edited out and made into a gem.
Oh God.
But she asked me to be the DJ at her 7th birthday party, where they were doing a disco. So I then proceeded to be the DJ. Brought over a bunch of equipment. Brought my handy dandy blue Yeti, and was speaking over the thing. And everybody thought it was, you know, the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? So. It was awesome and whatever, and I had this big-ass fro on that was literally, like, out to here. It was awesome.
Why are you not wearing that now?
I figured my hair was big enough right now, but it's not apparently. Not apparently.
I love that, man. That is awesome. That is really cool.
It was kind of cool. So,
Well done.
it took out a whole day to really
I
set
bet.
it up and get it
bet.
ready and break it down and yada yada and leave enough time for oh shits whenever. Oh well, I think I know it. Oh shit, I better do this, that, and the
Yeah.
other kind of thing. You know.
I had a little bit of that kind of week, but in a different way. I suddenly became, and I got listed in the credits as the director of photography
Nice.
for a interview series they're doing at work now. So I got to play dress up, where I was basically carrying 4 bags of equipment, setting up lights, you know, at 2 different angles to illuminate the interviewees, and then I had to painfully, forcibly teach myself how to use Final Cut
Oh yeah.
this week, which was. It's good. It was a great learning curve because, you know, I rolled into Thursday and I figured something out that I was like,
That would
are
have
you
really
fucking
helped.
kidding
Monday
me?
and
This would have
Tuesday.
helped yesterday. I could have, what took me an entire afternoon, I could have banged out in half an hour if I'd known that this pain does that, because it's, I think, I don't know if you've ever used Final Cut.
A little.
A little.
Yeah.
Well, you know how you've used iMovie?
No.
iMovie is
I
iMovie
use
is like,
Camtasia.
here you
a little-
are. Here's the 10 buttons you need, and you know, if you figure out how to combine the buttons, you can make 20 buttons. But really, everything's out there.
Right.
Final Cut felt like I was 8 years old and just walked into my grandfather the farmer's shed, and there
Right.
was all this fucking stuff on the wall, and I was like, I have no idea what that does, but food comes from it somehow. So let me see if I can't kill myself and somehow make the food.
That's right. That's right. And
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 so
there
that
were
was-
so many. There are so many tools that you really don't have to have, but it's the right tool when you're doing a certain
Exactly.
procedure, right?
Exactly. And so it's like rummaging through and saying, there's got to be a knife here somewhere. This is kind of sharp, and this will do it, but there has to be a better knife in here somewhere. But I'm going to do this anyway. And that's what happened. I was using the butter knife on Wednesday,
Right.
and then
right.
Thursday I found the fucking meat cleaver. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it was this entire time?
And then next week you'll find the scalpel.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And but I think it's like most things. It's having an actual practical job to do makes, because you're working on something, so then you're picking it up
Yep.
as you go. So we finished on Friday. It looks pretty good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think
But the tools that they have now make video editing so realistic for
Yes.
so many people. You know, even somebody who just has a little bit of technical aptitude
Right.
can really put together a reasonably decent.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I did it for a little while. Michelle's put together something much better than I because she's got better skills. But you move on. You know, you just kind of find ways to improve incrementally or in leaps
Pushing
and
the
bounds.
envelope.
That's right.
Yeah. So I may eventually get it for home because I just loved using it.
I've used Final Cut. I've used Camtasia is like plugin, like everything's nicely. It's like using Photoshop effects versus using Photoshop.
Right.
And I think the comparison that you made, Tom, when you walk into your grandfather's shed and you're like, what? Definitely. Most of the time, those programs have like you can do windows and it'll have set up for you on, you know, if you're doing post-editing or pre-editing or, you know, post-production or if you're doing editing or.
Okay.
So that might be helpful.
Yeah. I also didn't realize how big, this is also the oh fuck moment was, so we'd finished it, I'd shown it to a few people, it looked great, the sound was good. Also, I accidentally, the fucking camera had recorded in stereo, and I only had one mic, and so it was mono in stereo. So, but I was able to figure out eventually how to do dual mono, so it basically just left, right.
It mimics it, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Ready to go, ready to put in the cam, throw it up online so the guy we interview can kind of see it and give the okay.
Right.
And then the fucking thing is like 8 gigs. And I'm
Optimize, yeah.
So then I'm like, fuck. How the hell? Because I forgot I was like recording in high def. But, you know, I was using a high def digital camera. So I'm like, oh shit. And so now I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I didn't realize the computer had compressor on it.
Right.
So now I'm running compressor, but I'm setting up my compression or the file with all the settings I want. I'm like watching this YouTube video as this guy's giving instructions on like the best kind of like, so like, okay, this, that. I have no idea what you're saying, but I'm just gonna click through this and run. And it's like 5 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And then it's like your project will be done in 45 minutes, and it keeps adding time. I'm like,
yeah.
So I leave and go get dinner.
Yeah.
And then I come back to the office and it's finished. He's like, you fucking liar. He said it was going to be 55 minutes. And I was like, yeah, I got it. I'm done. So, yeah.
What were you running that on? Was it a PC or a Mac?
I was on a Mac. On a
Powerful
desktop.
Mac or no, not really?
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful one.
Okay. Because it's amazing how much horsepower. There is no replacement for processing power when you're doing video crunching.
Yeah. No, this is
all it's doing is calculations. It's like calculation.
Yeah.
Run it through
This is a pretty souped up desktop that we got for one of our field sites. Now it's back at the office, and we got it specifically kind of geared up so that because they had a AV program at an elementary school. They had a morning news show that the kids
that's awesome.
recorded and edited. And,
yeah, we did that at my middle school and high school, and I don't think they did it at elementary though.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
You had a morning. I'm sorry. Back up for a second, Jeff. You had a morning news show. We had a record player. You had a morning news show?
We had a morning news show.
I had a morning news show at one of my elementary schools.
The girl who did my middle school morning news show.
You had televisions?
Yeah, yeah. In all the rooms there were televisions, and I'm older than you, so you know.
God, Orlando. Yeah.
You think Orlando would be like on the game, you know? It's an entertainment city.
But it was funny because they only really did the morning news show once a week in the first half of the year. Then they did it twice a week in the beginning of the second half of the year, right? And then at the end of the year they were doing it once a day, right? As people learned how to do stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So by the end, they'd have 1 6-week period or whatever where they'd do a show every single day. But whenever it was in the beginning, they'd start recording on Monday, do a little bit more on Tuesday, and then it would show on Friday. Right? And then later on, they'd be able to pull 2 off in a week. Okay, then later on, they're able to pull off one a day.
That's funny because that's basically the same model that CNN does.
No.
I love to rip on CNN because they suck.
Oh
They
my
suck.
god.
Because they suck. I love to rip on CNN because they suck, even though we have some friends who work there.
We do.
We do. I always have to bite my tongue and not really rip into... CNN's problem is, and I've said this before on the show, is that Fox News is too far right, MSNBC is too far left, and CNN is just too fucking boring.
I like Wolf Brewster's beard.
Well, see, the thing was, is CNN for the longest really was pretty good. It was the best guy in the game.
Yeah,
And
totally.
then they stopped innovating. They stopped doing anything interesting, trying to be safe the entire time.
Yeah. They thought they had that niche, and they thought they were going to be safe and comfortable in that, and they did not push and grow.
Anymore.
So now they're doing this weird thing of like, well, we're going to tack to the center on everything, and kind of, well, what is this perspective? What is this perspective? And then you get to that problem of everybody's perspective is understandable, and it's like, fucking take a position once in a while.
Right.
Especially, I think Jon Stewart had this great clip where they had 2 people who were talking about gay adoption, and they had someone who was, from, Human Rights, HRC, Human Rights Coalition, I always forget what the C is, Committee, Human Rights Committee, and then they had another person who was some crazed person who was like citing some survey that indicated that 75% of gay parents are likely to abuse their children or something.
Right.
And it cuts back to Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart's like, well, obviously the CNN anchor will point out that this was an online survey that this person is citing, and so obviously has no bearing or merit. And then it cuts back to the CNN clip where the anchor person is like, well, I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree on this. And I was like, CNN, no, you don't have to agree to disagree. Fucking point out when someone's wrong. CNN. Plus,
Well, do we know what we're going to talk about today?
well, we
I
kind of
think
got...
we've
Are we-
already been talking about it. I don't know what's going on with you.
Are we starting?
Dude, we started at 10 o'clock on the button. We all had a coffee break in the middle of the show. Just saying. That happened.
Oh,
Welcome, Frank.
I didn't know they didn't do an introduction or not.
Go ahead, do it.
All
That was
right.
loud.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna post to some social media. Do you want to do any of that?
Okay.
Well, at least tweet it.
Copyright stylebistro.com.
I gotta get the link to the actual show.
You need to ask people some questions, man.
You need to ask people questions?
Yeah.
I like this idea.
Oh, I shouldn't use that. I should use other.
What?
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
What is that?
Who are you talking to, Tom?
I was talking to you.
Oh, okay. The link to the YouTube, I just put it. Oh, that's loud too. Just put it in the chat.
Okay.
Is this? I'm gonna change my gain and tell me if it's getting better or worse. Okay, so I'll start here and then I'm gonna go here. Does that sound better or worse?
It sounded worse.
It's quieter.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to here, and then I'm gonna go back over to here, and that sounds much more
That's too hot.
louder.
That's
Cool.
too hot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and I think that sounds okay.
Let's check your level with other people. So
Okay.
Tom talk,
Greetings, everyone.
Okay,
What level
then-
am I at?
then Michelle talk.
Hey, everybody. How are you doing?
It's about the same.
Okay.
Alright.
Jeff, you might be, for me, you seem to be the lowest person.
Am I too quiet? Am I too?
Just a little bit. You're.
I don't think
I'm
I've
gonna
ever
try and
heard that
turn up a little
before.
bit. Turn up
Just
a little
saying.
bit. Tell
Am
me
I
if this gets a
too
little louder.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, I'm gonna turn down just a hair from where you said it was.
Oh,
Right.
man.
So
I seem all right, or should I play with mine?
Oh, you're solid.
You
brother.
sound good.
You
Okay.
sound great.
Hello.
I had played with all of my gain settings whenever I was doing that DJ
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've got a voice for radio and a face to match.
Okay, well, welcome to this week's podcast. We have, as always, we want to start something different this week. We want to see what happened this day in history. So in 1895, the first movie projector was filmed in the United States. In 1918, the Red Baron was killed. In 1989, student revolts in Tiananmen Square started occurring. And on this day, last year, Megan Fox turned into this. From this to this. Unbelievable. Can you believe that? I mean, this is before and the after. I mean, come on now. I mean, really? This is what pot does to you, man.
Is that even true?
I can't believe that's the same person.
Pot doesn't do that. They look like the same person. Just one of them hasn't eaten in 2 weeks.
Can I ask, what is cha-cha? I never even heard of cha-cha.
It's a dance, dude.
No, it's a web service. Look, it's a
What?
browser.
Oh,
I've never heard of cha-cha. All right, so in the crowd, I think we have a little bit of people that like to smoke the ganj or the spliffs or the Mary Jane or whatever you want to call it.
Come on, that's all the names you can come up with? Come on, Frank. We need to expand a little bit more. The weed, the reefer, the green stuff, the icky,
the icky,
sticky icky.
sticky icky.
So apparently, and I want to know, Michelle, do you know where the name 420 comes from? And I'm not
Sure.
talking about the time.
Sure.
Mm.
Just where every other kind of number comes from in the underworld.
The underworld.
About a 187 on an undercover cup.
Exactly.
What? Wait, what is a 187? I don't know what that is.
It's
But I
Nicki
wasn't
Minaj.
Shooting.
It's a shooting?
No, it's Nicki Minaj.
It's a super bass? I don't know what that is.
So to answer your question, Frank, 420 is, the police term for marijuana. Drugs and dealers, I would assume. I don't know exactly because I'm not in, but I can go look that up for you if you'd like.
Apparently, Huffington Post was writing a story today saying it came from a Grateful Dead concert back in 1990 where people, way back when the internet wasn't around, even though the internet was around since the late 60s.
What? You
Interesting.
mean
On bulletin boards,
Al Gore invented it in the
on
60s?
bulletin boards, the term was, the colloquialism of the term started because these guys wrote on their bulletin boards, we're going to meet at 420 on 420 for 420 in Marion County at the Bolinas Ridge, somewhere in California near San Francisco. Go figure. That's what Huffington Post is saying. I don't know if that's true.
Is this going to be as believable as CNN's reporting on the bombing?
I don't know, but it's probably better than Lauryn Hill rapping.
Oh, man. Oh, reporting, news, the news cycle, things
Or Ann Coulter being taken seriously.
Ann Coulter's serious? Oh, did you see the tweet that she had at the beginning of this
No.
whole Boston
No,
this Boston shooting thing? I'll have to look it up, but it was just inane and dumb. Oh,
She wasn't
God.
doing false flag shit, was she?
Oh,
Hey.
that- let
Hey,
me.
don't get started on false flags now. Let's not go down
Why
that
not?
road. InfoWars, yo.
All right.
It's a plug. It's a plug.
It's a plug.
It's a plug.
What?
So- And you don't know about InfoWars, Tom? Come on now.
No, I don't know this term.
Oh my
First
goodness.
is the guy from Alex Jones, the guy that talks like this, and he thinks
Oh.
the gold is the only thing that you can buy. And I can't believe that those immigrants will come into our country, take away our liberties, and I want my guns, and I want my God, and I want it all.
I'll tell you what, you're just as mad as Harrison Ford was this week on Jimmy Kimmel Live with Chewbacca.
I saw that yesterday. That was brilliant. So wait, Alex, his show's called InfoWars?
No,
Yeah, that's his
website.
website. So he goes, when he's on his radio show, he'll go, and if you want more info about this, go to Infowars.com, because we've got it all for you. We can explain how these liberals are taking over your lives and destroying your children and making sure that you can't make a living in this great country of ours.
So he's a radio guy then? I hadn't heard of him until this week, really?
No, he's a
he's like-
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, he's a wannabe radio guy. He has
Okay.
like an online radio show that he'd
Oh,
like
okay.
to be carried, and kind of get some radio airtime with the third biggest station in Montana kind of thing.
No,
Right.
that's not true. He is the
But it's-
co-creator of the Genesis Radio Network. He's been going around for the last 15 years doing and talking about secret societies.
Secret societies?
Yes, he started getting his big play on Coast to Coast AM back in the early 2000s.
Okay,
Wow.
so Ann Coulter on April 19th at 6:37 p.m. tweeted, "It's too bad suspect number one won't be able to be legalized by Marco Rubio now."
That's just, you just have to take this with a grain of salt, man. They're just trying to stay relevant. That's all they're trying to do. Ann Coulter is just as
that's-
smart as Bill Maher is. They
She-
just want to
yeah.
create and push an agenda, and not even push their own. They're pushing their own agenda to stay relevant. That's all they're doing.
You're right.
They're trying to be outlandish and crazy and what the fuck? It's just like you, Jeff, in a crowd saying that one sentence or that one line or that one term, and you go, "What the fuck? Did he really just say that?" It's the
Yep.
same exact thing with it.
Yep.
yeah.
There's a word to it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Bird?
Bird, bird is the word. Bird is the
Yeah.
word. Bird.
I guess I should be. I'm not as shocked with Ann Coulter. I think as this whole week has drained me with regards to the coverage, just because. And Michelle and I were talking the other night about this. I think, Jeff, you may have seen something I wrote online where it's just I compared the 24-hour news cycle to bad jazz,
Yes.
because it's just like
Oh.
just like trying to do that solo that just goes on and on and on. And you're like, dude, stop. Just
Right.
end the song. Why are you still playing?
Yeah, they really were just trying to speak about things that they didn't know anything about. They didn't know what was going on, but they had to say something because all the other news outlets, mainly the Twitters and the Facebooks and everything else, were going to say something before they get a chance to. And if it wasn't CNN reports or NBC reports, then are they relevant anymore?
Well, I would tell you this much. This was the first major news story that I followed more, I think, on Twitter than I did actually on cable. And my real-time information updates on Twitter were occurring at least 15 minutes ahead of any breaking news that was on one of the major networks.
Yep, and I was in the car listening to CNN on satellite radio, so
Right.
that's pretty up to date, right? And I was reading my Twitter because I was sitting in the passenger seat while somebody else was driving. This was midday on Friday, right?
Right.
When all the news was kind of sitting there and slowly breaking all day long. And I was reading out things that I was reading from actually your anonymous news, and after I would read it out, 5-10 minutes later, CNN would say, "This just in, there is a suspect that's on the ground that will be taken into custody. We don't know what for or what about, but he's going to be taken into custody."
I'd be okay with that if they were actually doing their research in that time frame between when it hits my social media and when it hits the actual mainstream media.
Who would do their research? The
CNNs,
the
if you will.
journalists.
yes.
Yeah, the
Thank
CNNs
you.
of the world.
The I
If it
almost
took them that much time to do it, then that's probably fine.
I almost smashed the radio Friday when listening to, I think it was the Boston feed on NPR, because WNYC was like doing a live feed from Boston, and I guess they learned that these guys might be from Chechnya, and without even fucking doing a wiki search, they talked about it almost as if it was a fucking city. And I'm just like,
Oh my god.
how hard is it? And also, I'm like, where were you in the 90s? Have you totally forgotten? You're supposed to be... and that's when I was like, I gotta turn this off. I gotta give you guys some time to, like... Someone, I even, like, online, I got into a, not an argument, but someone called it, said we were sticking our heads in the sand because we were avoiding the news. And I was like, it's not sticking my head in the sand. I want to give them a chance to get their fucking facts straight before I turn to them and read the recap.
Right. Well, now here's another concept. Are the terrorists controlling our lives by putting everybody's eyeballs in front of CNN, Fox News, and NBC, right? Is that really what they're trying to do, is to control what it is that we're paying attention to and focused on for 2 days or whatever while that all goes down? And therefore, we don't pay attention to anything else really in the news world, and we kind of minor to all the other things in our
Wagging
lives.
the dog?
Right. Are they wagging the dog at that point? Are they putting on one of these as a show? And realistically, and this is harsh to say, but there were 3 people who were killed. There were 18 people who were maimed or whatever, right? On Friday, there was also in Damascus, Syria, an onslaught that killed 100 and injured 600. But do you see that on the news? Not really.
You wouldn't see it on the news otherwise, though, either. Americans don't typically like to watch international news. They like to watch home-based
Right. But
news.
I guess but the point is that there are other atrocities that happen all the time in our world. And because it happens in America, it happens on our own soil, it controls the whole news cycle.
But it's... I said something similar when I kind of complained about the national attention to gun violence, and after Newtown, everyone's talking about it, but no one was talking about it when it's 600 shootings in Chicago, half of which were children under the age of 18, but
Right.
suddenly it happens in suburban Connecticut, and it's on everyone's tongues. So I think it's, but it is a question: who is wagging the dog? Is it us? I always complained about tabloids, and those, and everyone I know seems to like, oh, I hate those rags that are at the grocery store. Look at those, National Enquirer, all that.
Right.
I'm like, yeah,
They
but
used
someone's
to be-
buying them. They aren't just like there, for free. They're obviously getting revenue. So we tend to pretend that we hate. Oh, I hate reality television. Oh, television sucks. I'm like, yeah, but enough people are watching television, and enough people are watching the Honey Boo Boo
That it's relevant.
it's yeah. So we can complain about crap, but if we're still eating it,
That's right.
God
It's
bless
like
you
we're-
for realizing that.
we're the ones going to that bad restaurant. But it's both ways. It is also should it also be the job of people to challenge us, or are they just if it's if it's all about profit rather than service?
Right.
And there seems to be some people who want to talk about the media as if, well, we have a mission to do. We're providing a service. But if it's really coming down to the bottom line, or if it's shuffling that anchor so that you can boost ratings, then what's taking precedence? So.
Well, but it's the same thing with our politicians. The politicians are a representation of the voting public, and they're not some different class that just kind of magically makes themselves influential. They're a result of what we've been taught, educated to, and then result in voting for.
Right.
So the news media is the same problem. It's really a problem of society. It's not a problem of the news media. And you get these conspiracy theorists who say that it's all about, the news media is the evil, whatever. Frank, are you watching television?
No, I'm actually going to try to watch a guy eat 16 quarter pounders while talking about why we should legalize pot. But I don't think I can share the video.
Frank, are you?
Can we get a the end? Can we get a the end whenever it
The
comes?
end. That and I can't operate my external speaker very well.
I want to just mention one more time, because I typically will say this, I've said it before, when we say the media, the mainstream media, oh, Frank's sharing.
No, go ahead.
Okay. The mainstream media is different than the NPR, is different than the magazine, is different than the news. They're all like to clump them all together is to think
but I think they're converging. I think mass media, televised mass media, has taken such a huge role that it's starting to influence. Again, like NPR on Friday morning was playing the live breaking, we don't really know what's going on, but we're just going to keep talking about it. So Sarah, you're there. Do you have any more information? Well, no, we see some ambulance. And I was like, this is NPR, or am I listening to Channel 5 local news?
Right. Action news.
Yeah, it really kind of...
NPR does hard-hitting news, though. That's not...
hard-hitting news, but they were doing the bad jazz. I'm just going to make this up and keep filling space with some notes.
Right, so, keep saying the same thing. You interview 6 people who have the same thing to say, and well, it kind of is the same thing that 6 other people just said, but let me say it again so that I'm the one saying it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So let's review what we know from the last 5 minutes, and we'll talk about it for the next 15 minutes, and then we'll bring in an analyst to talk about what we just talked about.
I think it's the 24-hour news cycle that has done this, and NPR even. Do you guys remember at the end of the day when they used to play the national anthem and the station would sign off?
Oh yeah.
Barely. Barely.
And that was the end of the programming day, and it would close. And now it's you're finding ratings for people that watch at 3:00 in the morning, because those people, they're gonna like Doritos more and burgers more.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh,
don't do it.
Oh,
don't do it. This is why we should legalize pot right here. I'm telling you.
Why? Because some guy's eating a hamburger?
Yeah, think about it. Think about how much more money McDonald's would get if we legalize pot.
I wouldn't call that one bite.
Did you know Chipotle's McDonald's?
Chipotle is no longer McDonald's. Chipotle used to be McDonald's. Oh. But McDonald's sold off Chipotle to some...
I had no idea they were owned by the same parent company.
They were.
They were.
Well...
And they still use McDonald's upstream food... like the supply chains.
Oh, that's kind of McDonald's.
So let's try to shift gears here to a little less craziness that's been going on the whole week. We need a little brevity, I think.
What's up with 2 dudes kissing on your screen?
No, it's the top 10 most anticipated movies of 2014.
Frank, you're amazing.
I have no idea.
I'm looking at your downloaded things down there at the bottom. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence. What did these celebrities do?
So anyway, Robo Apocalypse, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The Hobbit Part 3. I haven't even seen The Hobbit Part 1.
The Hobbit's a movie?
Yeah. Hunger Games, that's what I'm looking forward to, obviously. X-Men Days of Future Past. I have no idea what that's about, but yet again, that's Jennifer Lawrence right there.
No way. Really?
Yes, that's Jennifer Lawrence as Rogue. Or not as Rogue, as Mirage, or whatever the hell her name is. Mystique, thank you. But my favorite has to be King Dork. I never even heard of this, but this is brilliant. So it's got the guy. Oh, let's check this out. The director has finally been hired, so you're gonna have, the guy. I don't know where he's from. You're D.V. Divincides, High Fidelity. I don't even remember that guy. At any rate, it's a brilliant, funny, amazing coming-of-age novel with a mystery twist.
That doesn't say anything. That doesn't say anything at all, Frank.
Will Ferrell and Adam McKay's production company bought the rights back in 2006.
That's awful. But I'm not gonna lie, I find myself trying to scroll down your screen in the video.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
So there you go.
Clickbait exists for a reason, and
Yes.
that reason is
Yes.
Frank.
Yes.
Yes, correct. Correct. That is
Top
me.
5 sandwiches that Jennifer Lawrence ate in 2013.
Whoa! I want it.
I could.
Do you guys know how happy you should be that I have a cough button today? Because my voice is a little half gone.
Wait, go
and so
back a
I'm
page.
happy.
Go back a page.
Clickbait.
Yeah, I saw something. Go back. Is this where we were?
No, scroll up. I'm trying. I can't scroll up.
Frank, go
Okay.
back.
Go back? I can't go back. That page is ended. I think it's this page here.
She looks very surprised. Why are we going through everything that's wrong with the internet?
Celebs with better looking siblings? Wait, she has a better looking sibling?
You people.
What?
DivaWhispers.com. No. Beyonce. No, Beyonce does not have a twin.
Solange, what an awesome name.
Really? I had no idea Beyonce had a sibling.
I did not know that. And they are both gorgeous. God.
I think she's hotter than Beyonce.
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Which one is Beyonce?
The one on the right.
All right, yeah.
Okay. I thought it was the one on the left.
Nope. Do you think all black people look alike? Because that's
Oh,
what it sounds
watch
like you're
out.
saying.
Jesus.
No? Taylor Swift. Okay. 10 films with terrible endings. Sure.
Yeah, that's the problem with these things. You never click on the next button. You never see that there's
come on. Pretty in Pink, really? I don't even know anything about Pretty in Pink. All I know is it stars Matthew McConaughey.
No, it doesn't.
And,
Matthew McConaughey is not in that.
He's in Pretty in Pink? Yes, he is. IMDb that shit. That's him right there with the glasses.
That's not Matthew McConaughey. I
Wow.
don't think.
That's it? They only give you... Oh, okay.
You have to hit the next button.
There we go. Oh, come on. Come on. We're not even going to go there. Nope. Next. What is that? That's the girl from the Animal Crackers scene in Apocalypse.
Oh, we do have a viewer I'd just like to mention to everyone.
That's the.
Oh,
that's
we
the,
do.
That's the girl.
Excellent.
This is the girl from the movie with the asteroid.
Liv Tyler.
Liv Tyler. Yes, and apparently she is a famous musician.
Why are we watching this right
I
now?
don't know.
Let's move on to something more
Yeah.
intelligent.
But
Frank.
I digress, Frank.
Hang on. We're almost done. I don't know anything about that. That's
Hold
the
on,
experiment.
hold on.
Philadelphia Story has the terrible ending? Like, yeah. All right. That,
I'm just going to turn off Frank's video.
I didn't realize you could turn
That's
off people's
me.
video.
Yep,
Wow.
I'm the master right now, so I get to turn off people's video.
I don't have my second computer.
Oh, wow. He's still going.
Yep.
It's kind of like, you ever seen that show?
He is no longer in the broadcast.
Around the Horn on ESPN,
Yeah.
and when people get like knocked off the show, they just kind of freeze them.
I feel like I'm in timeout over here now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
we'll just put him on the very end of the ticker.
I want you to go to your room and think about what you've done.
Yes. Think about your lower thirds and what you'd like to put there.
All
As
right.
I drink more coffee. So, all I can tell you is the internet is a beautiful thing, and pot is a beautiful thing.
Okay, so Tom, explain to me where Chechnya really is and what I should know about Chechnya.
Chechnya is in the Caucasus.
And in the Caucasus means
They're going to
The
vote.
Caucasian Mountains.
Caucasian Mountains. Okay.
Yeah, it's a region of southern Russia. It used to be part of Caucasus countries that are in the Caucasus are Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. But just north of that is Russia, and the southern part, this kind of like leg bringing down here, is where you have some autonomous regions, Dagestan, Ingushetia, and Chechnya.
Okay.
Chechnya really came to like people's attention because it was obviously part of, not only was it part of the Soviet Empire, but it was part of Russia proper.
Okay.
After the collapse of the Soviet Union, these are predominantly Muslim areas of Russia. That date back to imperial conquests under the Tsars. And this area became kind of a hotbed for nationalist freedom movements. And so you saw Chechnya had 2 wars with Russia. After the first war, they kind of successfully got some kind of a little more autonomy and freedom. And then after the second war, they were brought back into the Russian fold as they are now. Run by a strong man whose name escapes me, who's pro-Putin Chechen strongman. There he is, Umarov. So yeah, there it is. See, that's a great map. Yeah, between the Caspian and the Black Sea.
Okay.
How much of the history has anything to do with a 19-year-old and a 26-year-old?
Yeah, 26. That sounds right.
I'm not going to play the news game and go, well, he made a trip to the region, a year ago, so let's speculate. I don't know.
I did look at his Twitter feed. I read his Twitter feed the other day, which was kind of interesting.
You read one of their Twitter feeds, really?
Yeah, the 19-year-old is like J_TSAR as his Twitter handle.
Uh-huh.
And, there was some stuff in there that he said something along the lines of, I met this Jamaican convert to Islam, and he has convinced me that my religion is the one. So I'm like, okay, that says something. And there were a couple others that
faithful. Yeah, and that says as much as you want to.
Well, it just says that he certainly is a believer of Islam. That doesn't say anything more about his actions other than he believes in Islam.
It's just, what's really weird, and this is what's confusing to me, is most Chechen animosity is toward, obviously, the closest oppressor, which is Russia. So you've had a history of attacks and conflicts that have been linked to Chechen rebels. The theater crisis in Moscow, where you may remember they basically, special forces gassed to incapacitate the terrorists, but ended up killing the terrorists and quite a few of the hostages. Dagestan was where I think the Beslan massacre took place with the school that was taken hostage, and really terrible. So there's been a history of there's been building bombings in Moscow and St. Petersburg, or mostly Moscow, that have been associated with Chechen rebels. So it's really, if it comes to be that these men were trained, influenced by Chechen extremists, it's a very odd shift for them to suddenly decide, not only let's attack America, but let's attack civilians. It's very weird. That's what just makes me really perplexed and confused. And I don't think this is part of a grander design, or
I don't think so either, because
like
it happened so late in the race.
Yeah.
What was it, like 2.5, 3 hours after the winners crossed the boundary? So if you're really trying to get news coverage, you kind of do it either when all the social media is going to be there, when most of the runners are finishing, at that 4-hour marathon kind of time, 3.5, when most of the runners that are in the Boston Marathon actually finish. Because to qualify as a woman, you have to run a 3:35 marathon or something. And a man, you have to run like a 3:15 or 3:30, something like that. So to do that, that's when most of the runners are going to finish the Boston Marathon. So why are they doing it at hour 4.5 or 5? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, and let me interject something in this. We right now you see the ethnic plurality of the map. You see all these different ethnic tensions that are going on. They've been going on for hundreds of years. And when Russia was an empire expanding into these regions back in the late 1800s, all of these ethnic groups have their own identity. So, and this map really doesn't show it enough. I mean, you're only seeing 20 or so ethnic backgrounds.
Can I point out something that's really interesting on this map and has an interesting backstory? You see in Georgia, in North Georgia, there's a yellow area called South Ossetia, and then above that's North Ossetia. So North Ossetia is part of Russia. South Ossetia is part of Georgia. But the South Ossetians, they're ethnically Ossetians, but they're Christian. North Ossetians are Muslim. South Ossetia more strongly identifies with the ethnic identity than the religious identity, and actually wants to break away from Georgia and become part of North Ossetia, which is really kind of interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting where you have people who more strongly identify with ethnic identity than they do with religious identity, which I think is really kind of a very
that's pretty rare.
I'm
isn't
hard
it?
pressed to think of another example of something like that happening.
Right.
Well, I don't know. The Irish, that they find themselves to be more importantly Irish than Catholic or Protestant. Does that apply? That's as close as I can
Yeah,
get.
I'm trying to
they'd
tease
rather
that
have a
better.
unified Ireland. They bicker and fight like siblings, but they'd rather have a unified Ireland than not.
one divided by
Right,
religious identity.
I think it's a fair
affiliation.
example.
Yeah.
That's as close as I can get.
I mean, perhaps was that there's 177 million Indian Muslims. I'd be curious to understand, because given the option, they could have probably left for what is now Pakistan or Bangladesh, but it stayed in India. So obviously there's some kind of tie with land first, and then religious identity second, and maybe national identity third. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good questions, guys.
There it is.
We get deep once in a while.
All I can tell you is this is a traditional Irish breakfast. It looks fantastic. You've got your tomato here that's been broiled a little bit with something on top. It looks
Cheese.
like breadcrumbs.
Cheese.
And you've got
Cheese.
some eggs.
Yep. Those are cooked in. Those are basted in bacon fat.
Yes.
And
How
that
else do
should
you
be
cook eggs, really?
blood sausage on the right.
Oh God, I love blood
That would be blood sausage with your traditional mushrooms over here.
Right?
Ugh.
And what you see here is some OJ from Florida.
No, it's not.
And what is missing in this picture is cheese from Healthy Happy Cows from Tillamook, Oregon.
Is that Marmite? Is that Marmite that they have at the top left?
Marmite is over here, but just remember, with any traditional Irish breakfast, is always better with Tillamook cheese.
The cheese is on top of the tomato. That's where you get it. They do love cheese toast, by the way. Over there, those plucky...
See, I got to go with the you can keep your Irish breakfast, because I'm always going English breakfast, because I need...
Wait for it. He's going to come up with a picture here in a second.
Oh my
English breakfast.
goodness. Now this is the part of the podcast where I'm hungry and I need to go eat Waffle House. That is what I need to do.
Sadly, I have not had a proper appetite since I was on
Oh
the cruise.
my god.
So
That
what
is
the
your-
Irish breakfast is missing is
Beans?
beans.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into the beans when I was over there. It just didn't make sense to me. And the blood sausage. I'm not into blood sausage.
Oh, blood
I
sausage is
already
so
have
good.
digestive problems, and I am
so
sure as
good.
hell not eating blood sausage in a
So
foreign
good.
country where I have to use
It's
Tums,
so good.
Tylenol PM, or Gas-X. Will not
So
use that
good.
to eat
As
blood
a
sausage.
child, I was like, liver, so disgusting. As an adult, liver, so good.
Oh, now you're wrong. Liver is disgusting.
No, man.
It's slimy.
Well,
Anything
that's what you're getting.
slimy is not good.
What? You're eating the wrong kind of liver, man.
So, do we scare away our viewers at this point with the food?
Oh, we
Sorry.
had 0. Now we're back to 1.
Well,
Hey, welcome back.
It's all about food. You've got to check out the food.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe they left during our blank time when no one was there. When we all left to have coffee. We were broadcasting.
Oh,
during
right.
that period.
Oh, can I talk to you about my ass hat of the week?
Oh, let's do
I didn't
it.
think I was going to have one, and then I saw in the notes that Michelle was asking if I had an ass hat, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with it's a member of Congress, Texas Congressman, U.S. Representative Louis Gohmert, who basically, this week has all been about tinfoil, too, for me. Like, I had to drop a friend online who was doing the whole false flag thing and was posting articles about how men who were obviously Navy SEALs in civilian attire were seen near the bombing site.
Oh,
and I just
Jesus.
was like, I was going to respond, and I said, you know what? It's not even worth, because I know it's just going to
In
So
sight.
it's going to miss.
Yeah.
So someone I will comment on and refer to is this congressman who basically jumped in to use the bombing as a way to talk about undocumented Mexican immigrants, because he said, we know that Al-Qaeda has camped over with the drug cartels on the other side of the Mexican border. We know that people are being trained to come in and act like they're Hispanic when they're actually radical Islamists.
Because all
Lindsay-
brown people are the same.
Was that Lindsey Graham?
God.
No, I was not Lindsey Graham.
Oh.
Total asshat.
I just was like,
Can Lindsey Graham just come out already? Can he just say he's gay so we can just move on with our lives?
Why? Just because he has a name of Lindsay?
He talks really soft and hard. Those terrorist guns are coming to Columbia, South Carolina.
I think you're being a little judgy there.
No?
A little judgy.
Being
Well,
a little
you-
judgy.
You know what I want to judge you? All right, I'm going to judge you. This is my asshat of the week, is ABC. ABC should have never got rid of the dinosaurs. So, not the mama. So I was actually going through this website, which I do because I obviously download really cool stuff. So
I guess it's cool.
So apparently these people were the voice actors behind the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I don't really know who any of these people are until you come to the bottom a little bit.
You know who that? Okay.
I know who Sally Struthers is.
Yeah.
Sally Struthers.
Yeah, kind of
My
looks
God.
like her. But then I come to Baby Sinclair, which is the voice actor Elmo, and I'm
Oh, it
thinking,
is.
holy shit,
Yeah,
really?
he did not the
He's
mama.
fascinating, actually, as a person, and yeah, like
He
he
is.
gets into his character, and yeah. Sorry.
Bad. So
I want to make a bad joke, but I'm not going to.
No, do it! Do it! Do it!
No.
Do it!
Oh,
Do it
God,
now!
I see where
He
this
gets
is coming.
into.
I can't look at Baby Sinclair anymore. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. So that's
But
really
you
my.
can-
It just ruined my morning when I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh. That and
Again?
Megan Fox should have always been the girl next door. Like, it drives me crazy. So Megan Fox, you're my ass out of the week. That and you can't act anymore, and all you're good for is being beaten up by Eminem on your crappy ass videos.
And being hot. That's her only
No,
job, is be
she's no
hot.
longer hot. She's gone from being awesome. The end.
I love the end.
Jeff, do you have an ass hat?
No, but I just fell over in my chair on video. I rocked back so much during that laughter that I literally fell over in my chair. Literally fell over in my
Oh my god, brilliant.
chair.
Did anyone?
asshat.
Did any? Oh yeah, go ahead. Did anyone
No,
catch
no.
the game?
What game?
The Neil
game?
deGrasse Tyson game versus the
Oh, yeah.
civilization.
No, I was too busy because the game was last night, wasn't it? On 420.
It was
and
on
the
four-
entire weed smoking team was high as a fucking kite.
Yeah. It was a crazy game.
Can you recount it for
I
us?
thought having a reggae band in the stands was a little too cliche. I just was like, no.
It was the national
A little
holiday.
distracting.
Well, here are some highlights. Apparently, the 2012 apocalypse was debunked.
What
Is this his business card?
I want this.
What are we looking at, Frank? Is this a playing card?
No, it's like it's like a scientist collector's card.
I want these.
Crispin Iego,
Oh,
most
you
notably
know,
of the
that's-
crispin-iego.blogspot.com. There's some free advertising for Crispin Diego. So apparently he
Yeah, there
does
you
the
go.
weapon of choice is the Colbert Report and Daily Show. And this
Arch Nemesis Guns N' Roses trivia.
That's pretty hot.
Ah.
How come we don't have plastic surgery photos of Axl Rose up here? That's more interesting than the regular box.
So anyway, it looks like Neil deGrasse Tyson wins out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Took
and-
it to the win. Took it to the head.
Wow.
Take it to the hole.
So congrats, Neil
Take the-
deGrasse Tyson. You get our honorary nominary, yes, tournament. Honorary I can't talk, so I'm going to go back to being quiet.
Congratulations, Neil deGrasse Tyson. You have won this year's championship.
I am.
That is
Science
all
wins.
true.
I'm a little verklempt, so we need to send him out what are the best things on the internet? What are they called? Cranberries or something like that?
No, but I think that he needs a guaranteed 100% piece of ship trophy.
Yes.
Should have had a trophy made.
Well, he went and partied with the other team.
Team
so.
Cannabis?
Yep. Everything turned out irie.
I got a trivia question.
Ooh, excited.
I heard this on the radio, and I was like, "Oh, that's really good." Because and you have to answer, immediately. Because like this guy it was a test of like. There was, like,
No.
a psychologist talking about it. No, you have to answer immediately. There's no stopping to think about it.
Okay.
Okay. And if you already know this, it's not fun. But
Oh.
so, a bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost?
It's
I
free.
have to answer it immediately?
Yes.
At $1.20?
A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost?
$1.20.
90 cents.
I don't think any of this makes sense.
20 cents.
A bat and a ball
10 cents.
together cost
$1.05.
$1.10.